congratulations and thank you all very, very much. I know that ABAG is not a Ghanaian company. It's a worldwide company. So just to put that on the record. To start with, I want to recognize, acknowledge the presence of some very distinguished personalities, starting with our national chairman, Dr. Mohamed Nur Hussein, who has been he has been a phenomenal physician who won 2 awards as among the best doctors by his peers twice in a row in the United States. So that's an African doing some great things, Dr. Nur Hussein, our national chairman. And that's Ms. Muriel Glasgow. Ms. Muriel Glasgow used to be a former UNICEF representative, but a Caribbean who now has created a social network, the UN chat, anything that is happening throughout the world. She interviews ambassadors and ordinary people like us. So, and she just finished interviewing New York One anchor Cheryl Wills this day. And Omar Busher, please stand. You guys need to know this guy. Omar is the special advisor to perhaps the 3rd most powerful single black man in the state of New York. New York State Senator John Sampson, who is the Democratic Conference leader for New York State. So those are that. When you are negotiating, you have the governor, you have the speaker, and that's the level. And he's one of the people. His office, the senator's office, is championing, partnering with us in the Congress in moving this agenda forward. So as the Excellency goes to Ghana, let the Ghanaian countries know, as well as other leaders, that their sons and daughters are not sitting down now, that we are connecting with the levers and centers of power in this United States. And Ms. Veronica Beckford is a special advisor to the Congressman Gregory Meeks, who was formerly the chair of the Committee on Africa, and someone who has a good friend of mine who has really been an advocate for Pan-Africanism. But as we always say, we want to connect these leaders with our leaders on the continent as well. I'm sure the ambassador is going to play a very key role there. And Mr. Toure, you know, is a very sharp mind, and perhaps Toure works for perhaps the largest public housing in the world. New York City Housing Authority is the largest public housing in the United States, and if you're considering it to be just by their sheer population, it's like the 5th largest city itself in the United States. So he works there as well. And Ms. Lynn Spivey. Lynn Spivey is the president of the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, the Niger branch. Yeah. And we have Reverend Jones. Reverend Jones is an extremely Bosnian. First of all, he's a man of God. You hear him speak in this country. Anybody who is in politics or who wants to do something, if you don't go to the pulpits, those people, you're not going to go anywhere. And besides, if they pray for you, you ain't going nowhere. So Reverend Jones actually has, we met with him. He's very much involved in really conversion of this energy, making waste management. It's a new technology that has been developed, and he felt that our continent really could use this. And so we met with him, and they are now actually negotiating with the state of New York, which we haul garbage from New York to other parts of the city, across other parts of the country. It costs several $100 million just to do that. But they are now trying to work to change that. And there is also Mr. David Wright. Who is David? David Wright. David Wright, he's the special advisor to the Under Secretary General of the United Nations for the LDCs, and these are really people who are doing some phenomenal things here. And where is Ambrose? Is Ambrose here still? Ambrose?
He went downstairs.
Oh, he went downstairs. His brother. Well, anyway, I oh, and then again, I think it's just a very, very important young man that you all should know and watch. This is Africa's leader in waiting to watch. Famud, please stand up. Famud Kone is the first chairman of the African Advisory Council. In this country, the borough president of the Bronx decided that by virtue of the fact that we have the largest concentration of Africans in the Bronx, so he felt it was prudent to creating the first African Advisory Council. So that young man is the chairman of the African Advisory Council, and he also works for the DA. Is that district attorney, right? Manhattan DA, and he's making some very, very important inroads around the world, and most likely there might be some African presidents in waiting. We don't know. So, yeah, Excellency. But thank you, Famud is here. And who was it? Anybody that I know that I miss. All of you are very, very important. But the reason why sometimes it's important for some of us to say these things, sometimes people see things happen. They don't know how it happens. And there are shoulders that some of us have been able to sit on to be able to open these opportunities and even make Africa now a household name in this country. So I want to reassure the Excellency that what we're about to do here is not going to be in name only. If it costs us to do this, we have a moral obligation and responsibility to do it. And by the grace of God, we're going to make this happen. And all of you, like our distinguished financial Wall Street guru said, he wants to make all of you not millionaires or multi-millionaires. And I hope when some of us decide to run for the bathroom, not in politics, in government, when we come for some campaign contribution, but forget me. But again, on behalf of this, I really want to thank our distinguished leader. Please, let's give Mike. You know, you may have him as your cousin. For your information, my cousin was the former UN permanent rep and UN regional advisor to Ghana, Alfred Faundu, who passed away recently.
Oh, Faundu died?
Yes,
Faundu
died, yes.
From Sierra Leone?
Yes.
Faundu?
That's my cousin. The reason why I call that name, any Ghanaian who is any Ghanaian, when you call Alfred Faundu, he knows who he is. And that was my cousin that stayed there, and he did phenomenal stuff in that country. And Ghana, in fact, was his other home. He felt so much at home in Ghana, but we lost him. And as a matter of fact, he was a candidate for president of Sierra Leone. He announced about a month after his candidacy was announced. That's when God called him home. But we in the family are really very, very touched by that. But we have an obligation to carry on from where he left us. But I just want you to know that we are very, very, in fact, the housing market in Sierra Leone is headed by a Ghanaian, is the one running our National Housing Trust in Sierra Leone. So we are all one, and we hope that those of us who have made these friends and these relationships, the Caribbean community, the African American community, that we are all one. We want you to be a part and take advantage of the opportunities that Mike is talking about. So, and I know the chairman is going to close, but I just want on my own personal behalf to really thank you for the leadership, the foresight, and even threatening your cousin to come if he didn't come.